For you who are just tuning in tonight, I'm Meg, your mom, and I'm taking you directly into the destruction that has been occurring in our country. As you can see, we've still had a devastating effect from the Great War, and tonight we're going into the economic and political policies that dealt with this Great War. Only months after the treaty has been signed, our country is trying its hardest to get back on its feet. Let's start by talking about all the different policies and political things that have been going on in our country. Starting with the government's attempt to reincorporate the money back into America. After sending all money available into war efforts in an attempt to aid our allies, the Federal Reserve put a new information rate in place. Before the war, the American dollar was backed up with a dollar worth of real money and 40 cents of gold. During the war efforts, it was changed to be backed up with 40 cents of gold and 60 cents of real money or war bonds, which occurs when a private citizen pays into war efforts through the government. This slight inflation was done to prevent a larger inflation. What? Sounds a little crazy, but sometimes you gotta raise a little to lower a lot. While everything has been going on, the slight inflation has helped the inflation rate from getting too high. But now, with the war over, many are struggling with the new high inflation that was promised to disappear. Soldiers are forced to participate in this war through the devastating 3 drafts that are occurred, are now fighting another battle, trying to balance these new prices. Our country's policies are being affected by the slowing production also. During the Great War, the U.S. supplied our allies with gun shells. As this demand was super high, we moved manufacturing plants all over. Mobilization in Britain and France opened many job opportunities for the Americans that are no longer needed. Sources tell us that most job opportunities are now going to recovery efforts and focusing on cleaning up the problems. Another question many have is what to do with the returning soldiers. Through the 3 drafts, the unemployment rate dropped from 8% to a whopping 1.5%. Over 3 million people were placed under military employment, and another 1.5 million went to the government. Roughly 3 million people were placed under military employment, and another 500,000 have been getting government jobs. Sources fear that unemployment might be facing a record high. But jobs aren't all citizens are worried about. Many are wondering when food rationalization will be eliminated. Boards created for war purposes are still working on assimilating society back into the peaceful era. Hoover's administration is doing their best to cover all aspects of the adjustment through his organizations, although no real promises as to what is exactly going to happen have been made yet. After President Wilson granted Hoover full control of the Food Administration Board during the Great War, Hoover connected it with the Weaver Act, also supported and signed by Wilson. The Food Administration Board was set up to assure supply, distribution, and conservation of food, with facilitating transportation of food and preventing monopolies. It also maintains government power over food through voluntary agreements that have been signed by organizations such as the Sugar Equalizing Board and the Grain Corporation, and through licensing systems. With Hoover already controlling all those aspects, adding the passing of the Weaver Act theoretically gave Hoover total control over our food distribution. The act granted Hoover with the power to control distribution, exporting, importing, purification, and storage. During the high tension that arose from such tight food control, Hoover inspired millions with his motivational words.
Go to simple food, simple clothes, simple pleasures. Pray hard, work hard, sleep hard, and play hard. Do it all courageously and cheerfully.
With the extensive drive Hoover showed during the Great War in his efforts to secure our well-being, we expect, as well as truly hope for, continuing motivation to settle current disputes. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for tonight, but tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for a special look into how citizens are celebrating the war's end, but also how they're coping with the change. I'm Megan, your mom, and this is WNTC News.